Hello everyone. Thank you for tuning into my channel. So I'm coming to you with a video that was requested by Michelle Mendez. She asked, how did it feel getting ripped and how long did it take to heal after having a baby, of course, and was sex still the same? She also wanted to know about my diet and how much weight I gained and lost, and breathing techniques. Okay, so that's a lot. I'm gonna try to like put all of it into a video. Okay, so in terms of like getting ripped, some people when you go into labor, you may naturally tear the skin between your vagina and your anus. Some women get an episiotomy where the doctor or midwife will make that incision, and some women it just happens naturally. So for me, it actually happened naturally. I tore a little bit, and because I had gotten an epidural, I didn't have any sensation down there, so I didn't feel it. You don't feel anything. I'm assuming that if you did not get an epidural, that all of the stuff, all that's going on with you, like the emotion between being pregnant, having a baby, all the pain that you're experiencing from your contractions, and then the actual sensation and the force that it takes to push, and then the pain of the baby coming through, would probably cause you to not even notice that you've torn. So whether or not you got an epidural or not, you probably wouldn't even realize that you tore. I'm not one who knows because I did have an epidural, but I can only assume that with all that's going on, you wouldn't even realize you tore. My midwife immediately sewed me up right after. Once again, I was numb because I had the epidural, and I was so enthralled with my baby on top of me looking all, dirty and just crying and so beautiful and so cute and so handsome, that I didn't even really know that she was basically sewing me up. I had no idea. And as far as healing, it doesn't take very long. They say that the stitches are going to fall out in a couple of weeks, so maybe like 4 to 6 weeks maximum. But one thing I do remember is when I would go to the bathroom to do a number 2, I would feel a weird sensation as my stool would come out from my rectum. You feel like something is being rubbed on in there, whereas normally when you are going to the bathroom, it just comes out kind of smooth. It felt like there was an abrasive sensation in there. Not uncomfortable. I mean, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't painful. And then as far as was sex still the same? After you have a baby, one of the things that a lot of people misconstrue, it could be because of television, is that because your cervix, goes to about 10 centimeters dilated, and then through your vaginal canal comes this humongous being, well, not humongous, but this large human being. They assume that your vagina is going to be, stuck like this. And because it's a muscle, it's not likely that it won't contract back into its normal shape. But in addition, when you get an episiotomy, they kind of they're sewing you back up. So for some reason, it just feels like sex after having a baby is almost like it's almost like losing your virginity. I don't know. Tell me, ladies, if those of you who have had babies and then, you had sex after birth, not right away, but within a reasonable amount of time. Let me know if you agree with me that the first time having sex after having your baby, it felt like you were losing your virginity again because your vagina is very, very, very tight. I remember feeling like I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And it takes a while for that feeling to go away where you feel like you're very, very tight. As far as how much weight did I lose in diet? So before getting pregnant with my son, I was about, I would say maybe 200 pounds. The last visit that I had from the doctors, I had weighed 262. So I don't think I gained that much weight between my last visit to the doctors and when he was delivered. So I would say that I was about 262. So that's 62 pounds. And as far as my weight loss, I knew that I wanted to lose all my baby weight within 1 year. I gave myself a realistic time frame. Lose it within 1 year. It took you 9 months to put it all on. So I don't expect to have the the baby, and then boom, I'm gonna be skinny. Although one thing I wasn't prepared for was having the baby and then my belly still looking like I'm pregnant for a little while. I was not expecting that. But you get over it kind of quickly. So I gave myself a year to lose all the baby weight. But I actually lost all the baby weight by August. So my son was born December 2011, and by August of 2012, which is about 7/8 months later, I had lost all the baby weight. However, my body was still not in the best condition. After being pregnant for so long, your abdominal muscles and your core strength is like, you have none. So I found myself like not being able to, you know, do some basic things like sit-ups and planks and things like that. They were just so hard to do because I just had no core abdominal strength. So definitely this time I'm gonna work on that a lot sooner than I did with after my son. But as far as like losing weight, what things I did, the first thing that I did was my appetite completely goes back to normal. So this is pretty standard for me because now I'm pregnant with my second baby and I'm in my third trimester. I'm actually exactly 37 weeks and 2 days right now. So for me, my appetite has subsided since like week 25. So I'm going to be able to really be consistent with healthy eating right after. So that was one thing. The second thing was I was breastfeeding. You know, breastfeeding, you do lose a lot of weight because the caloric intake from the baby taking your milk from your body, it's work. It takes a lot of work. So you do lose about 500, they say, calories a day. I started Weight Watchers as well, like literally like 1 month after having my son. And Weight Watchers has a program that does not take away too many points for moms that are breastfeeding. So I was following that program. I was going to the gym 30 minutes a day, 2 days a week at first, which was about 3 or 4 weeks after the baby. And then after I got my 6 weeks clearance, I increased from 30 minutes to 1 hour, 2 to 3 days a week. And then once I really got in the groove of things and, you know, spring hit and summer hit, then I was going to the gym like all the time, as often as I possibly could. Of course, you have your high moments where you're going and you're so motivated, and then you have your low moments when you're not. And one of my low moments for me was when I had to go back to work. It was too challenging to go to the gym after work when I had to pick up the baby before a certain time from grandma and then come home and see my baby and get some time with him. So I really was going more so on the weekends before my husband left for work. And also I would go in the evenings on my husband's day off, which after I lost all the baby weight, which was in August of 2012, I obviously wanted to move forward with my healthy lifestyle and healthy eating, and I wanted to lose additional weight. I had set a goal for myself to be about 160-ish, and my husband and I talked about having another baby, and I wanted to reach my weight loss goals before getting pregnant, but my husband wanted to grow his family, and that was more important to him. So for me, I was working so hard to lose as much weight as possible so that when I got pregnant, I could, one, maintain that level of activity, because once you've already been physically fit, you can continue that level of activity when you get pregnant. You don't have to stop. But if you've been sedentary, you can't like start physical activity, they advise. And then two, I wanted to be able to have less of a way to go back down, because if I lose a lot of weight and I gain 40, 50 pounds, I won't be so heavy in comparison to if I didn't lose any weight at all. So I wanted to do that, but I ended up losing maybe about another 20 pounds. I got down to 180, and then I started going back up towards 190, and that's where I was before I had my baby. So before I got pregnant. So that's pretty much how it was. When I have my baby girl, you guys are going to be here with me as you go through me losing weight. I'm going to continue doing weekly or bi-weekly updates about everything. So even though I'm not going to be doing pregnancy vlogs, I'll be sharing like post-pregnancy vlogs where you guys can learn about what's going on with my body and also what I'm doing to lose weight. Now, as far as breathing techniques, I have to be honest, Michelle, I don't remember all of them, but we learned some of the basics in terms of When you have a mild contraction, what you want to do is first, regardless of what type of contraction you're having, your body has to be in a calm state. You need to think about relaxing. You need to put your mind in another place. You know, you may need to lay back in a chair because you want to envision your body melting into the floor, melting into the chair, literally just oozing right off of you. So you don't want to be straining. You don't want to be putting so much strain on your body or tensing up during a contraction. You want to be completely loose and flowy and just your whole body just melts into the floor. And while this contraction is coming on in your body, you have to stay focused on being relaxed, which is so hard to do. But a normal contraction breathing technique would be a deep breath in through your nose, and then a nice exhale out through your mouth. And you want your breathing out of your mouth to be very slow. You don't just want to go. And you want your lips to make that nice small circle so the air comes out very slowly and controlled. So it's in through your mouth, in through your nose. And you have to be really relaxed because you feel the pressure and that tense cramping in your belly, and you can't tense up and go, oh, ow, ooh, no, ooh, ow. You can't do that. It's going to make it more painful. So you have to completely relax when you do this. And you do it in and out until the contraction subsides. So let's just pretend I'm having a 3-second contraction. So and then it's over. And honestly, when your contraction is done, you don't feel anything. It's gone. It's just completely gone. Now, there are techniques for more intense contractions. One breathing technique is the I don't remember all of them. I have to be completely honest with you because I didn't do a labor class this time because my plan is to get an epidural. Honestly, I'm getting one. I already know that right now. But I hope that was helpful. And let me know if you guys have any other questions. Of course, leave them below. Be very specific. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye. Sleeping, I'll have a letdown. And for me, my letdowns are very, very strong. I feel them. It's like a pressure coming down my